Bonjour, President of France Emmanuel Macron and Madame Brigitte Macron. My video to you is a cry from the soul of a mother whose son was taken away without explanation or reason. Being in your office, you cannot know everything that happens in your country, especially the attitude of social workers and the police to the citizens of other states who are in your country as a political immigrants. I respect you very much as the president of the state in which I live, and I observe your laws. But there are people who use their official powers as they want and abuse them, knowing that they are not in danger, because a simple refugee has no any rights. In any family there are disagreements and conflicts, and in order to understand everything there is a law that solves all problems. Now I want to appeal to you, Monsieur Emmanuel Macron, and to your wife, Madame Brigitte Macron, with a request not to remain indifferent to my appeal to you. I came from Russia because I have big problems in my homeland. I really hoped that in France there would be people who would understand and help. Instead of, I see racism and nazism. I do not want to insult the French nation, and I have a great respect for the citizens of your country. On October 15, at 10 o'clock p.m., 2 hours knocked at the door. We were already asleep. When we opened the door, I was surprised by the policeman who, in the circle of some people who did not want to introduce themselves, demanded that he was given a child, threatening with a stun gun. I, invalid of the second group, I have epilepsy and core. Referring to the fact that he has every right to the court decision, which he said took place at 9:30 p.m. local time in the city of Paris. In response to my question where you take my baby and why, about what court he speaks, and in general all this means, I did not receive any answer. The Democratic Republic of France, which should be an example to all states, is being destroyed from within by state officials themselves, showing racism. Objectively, nothing is solved. Apparently, the neighbor across the wall knows better what happens at someone trying to blame all the atrocities and aggression. Is it possible to decide the trial of a person without specifying what is happening in detail and without understanding? I have all the evidence and facts related to my problem both in Russia and in France, which I cannot settle in order to obtain refugee status and start a normal human life, because I want to live a happy family life like all of you. Just because I was not born in the royal house or in Europe does not mean that I don't have the right to speak. I am the same person on this planet. We are all someone's children, mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, and friends. We are all people. So let's respect each other. My request is that you respond to everything that is happening around my family, and that all decisions taken be in accordance with human rights law. No person has the right to decide the court based on other people's words and denunciations. To do this, there are lawyers and the prosecutor's office. I try my best to keep my family, where father, mother, and child are always together. Being an invalid and risking my legs, I did not give birth to him in order to remain alone today. If my heart stops, and it is already at the limit, the main reason for this is the fall from 26 meters high. Know that in all your country will blame my son, who was taken at the age of 10 months. by inhumans and monsters. Only a heartless person can break the mother's heart and make decisions in favor of their own benefit or because of personal hostility. Madame Brigitte and Monsieur Emmanuel Macron, if you have any opportunity to influence my situation, I ask you to help me to understand this situation. Thank you. Thank you very much in advance for taking the time to listen to my appeal. To all interested journalists and who is not indifferent to my situation, to communicate with me because I have everything interesting for you. I give my email address. I think you'll have something to write your morning papers. I very much hope that the human rights organizations and the International Court of Human Rights of Europe will hear me and respond.